You were supposed to do the decision and the KO. And then he says, well, and it ended in KO. He said, well, I forgot to do the KO and I put that on split decision instead. What? What are we doing? And then he's all mad because he lost money and I'm over here winning money. He just never listens to me.
I cannot confirm or deny. All speculation, hearsay at this point. I, to be fair, I have hit a couple of these split decisions, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy, JP. And in today's episode, we will be breaking down and giving our predictions for every single fight for UFC Fight Night Hernandez versus Rodriguez out in Sacramento, California. But before we do, we got a few things to cover. First and foremost, JP, I'm back. Thanks for having me back on the show. And for all of you watching at home, your boy is married. Peep the ring. It feels great. I'm now a husband, so you know what that means. More chores, more dishes to do, more more honey-do lists, right? That's what they say. No, I'm excited. It was a great time out in Cancun, but I am very happy to be back in the normal flow of things. And I really felt the love from you guys in the comment section, saw all the congratulations, saw all the warm, comments that you sent my way. I really appreciate you guys. That's what this community is all about. So thank you. JP, UFC 330, you were over at the house. Some pretty good fights, some pretty good results for your boys. Once again, the streak continues. I'll let you talk about the fights.
Yeah, I think the story of it was the IQ. Once again, the IQ haunts you boys. I mean, my lord, we'll get to it. The main event was what it was. Okay, if you're one of the people out there that thinks it was a robbery, I don't understand. There's both sides, right? There's laying on him, other than the back take and the head kick. Laying on him is not fighting. It's not how you want to fight. Fair, okay, I hear you. What did Ian do? He had a good third round. You want to give him the third and the fourth? That's fine. 1-2 goes to Islam. 3-4 goes to Ian. The fifth was Islam's. Like, clear as day. So it is what it is. Ian stood his ground. I didn't mind Ian's game plan. He stood his ground, didn't go backwards. That made it harder on Islam. Okay, we all know if you go backwards, the wrestling's much easier to get to. He didn't throw enough volume, in my opinion. I think if he would have thrown more volume, like he did in 3, and then continue that in 4 and 5, I think he might have stolen it. You never know. I do like Khabib coaching, telling him, hey, we don't know what's going to happen. I know some people are like, oh, it's 4-1 Islam. Khabib's right. You know, you never know what's going to happen with the judges. We've seen, Brevin, boy, have we seen worse. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
But it was what it was. Okay, Islam gets it done. We knew Ian would be tough. It's crazy how much, it is mind-blowing to me, how much the community flipped on its head with Ian. We hate him. He's a loser. He's the C word. I don't know if have I called him that yet on the channel?
No, and you probably shouldn't.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, I don't know if I've said it. I'm not going to. And then all of a sudden afterwards, you guys, oh, he's pretty good. He gave his... I don't understand the switch up, but we knew he'd be tough. He's always had decent takedown defense, good striking. So was what it was. Not a crazy entertaining fight, but those are two prime athletes, damn good fighters in the world going at it. So Mackenzie Dern dominates other than the 5th round. Jillian had a good 5th round. Dean Thomas, and I know everybody is giving him flack for it. Me and Brevin were talking about it when he was on the desk saying that. That's whack. Your fighter just lost, and now you're out here yapping like that and saying that's as far as I think she can go. That's crazy stuff. Whatever. I know he apologized, and then I guess Jillian was like, yeah, I don't care. Good for her. She had a good 5th round, but 1 through 4. Mackenzie's volume and striking looked phenomenal early on. Boy, has she come a long way, dude, since the first time that we watched her. Kelly Hernandez is a ballerina. That one's on me. Okay. Brevin wasn't here. Didn't have a lot of people to run it by. Wasn't going to bother him and say, hey, give me a breakdown of Turner Cowway. He trusted me. And we all saw how that went down. Cowway's a fucking ballerina. Whatever. Mansour's a bum. He's a fraud. Dude can't wrestle, apparently. And that's what he's known for. Yikes. Ribovic beats Barbosa. Barbosa retires, thank God. Me and Brevin were begging Herb to get in there and stop that. That was brutal to watch. The gash on his leg, my lord. Joel Alvarez. Holy shit. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. There has to be something else. There has to be, he was tired. He didn't just straight up didn't want to grapple. I don't know. That's fucking mind blowing what we watched him do. I don't know how you feel. If you just think he's dumb, maybe it just exposed as he's a bad IQ fighter, but that I still cannot believe that. Let's just Muay Thai fight a Muay Thai fighter. Fucking crazy. Charles Johnson. I know. Charles Johnson gets a Charles Johnson-esque win. And it's funny we say that because somebody else got an esque win for themselves. Dante Johnson, which Brevin, we didn't do the Johnson & Johnson parlay. Kind of pissed off.
Pissed out.
Yeah. He gets it done with one shot over McConaughey. Trayshawn Gore wins. Dude's a dog. Okay, dude is tough. Luque, he gave that Darce a shot, and Trayshawn, that high shoulder, and he's got that elbow way out. Good win by Trayshawn. Missing teeth, too. Dude's a fucking dog, my God. Fernando's striking looked impeccable. I told you guys on the show last week, we're worried about his takedown defense. Sometimes he sits on his back too much. Takedown defense, not really great. This one, it looked great. Looked phenomenal. Tobias got his ass beat. I'm surprised it took as long as it did. And then that step through knee. Or it wasn't even a step through knee. He just timed it. My Lord. Neil Magny. Brevin, possibly it was the Neil Magny fight and the Trayshawn Gore fight. 100% all week people were clowning us for. Got those two right. The other one people were all pissy about was the lock. And the caveman IQ rears its head, dominating the fight. Got clipped up in the first round and then took it to the ground. Second round had a good round. And then the third round, we're just slanging. I don't know. Is what it is. Meet the Bet gets choked out. I told Brevin, if you guys follow the UFC Instagram, you watched them do the timer button, and they said 5 seconds. Meet the Bet stopped it at like fucking 1.7 seconds or something. And he's supposed to do 5. And then he just stares at the camera. I knew right then and there. I said, oh, shit, we might be chalked. But it is what it is. What is that, 8-4? We stay profit. Stay on the streak. That's what matters. So, not a bad weekend.
Yeah, JP, I'm going to put you to work as the editor of this video. UFC Prediction Tracker has his own channel. Check it out. Give him some love over there. But JP is going to share a little clip in our video of the longest winning streak, which we are now on. Okay, so I'll let him find a spot to insert that clip.
And winning 4 weeks in a row, we have a total of 11 channels. And out of those 11, there are a total of 8 channels winning 5 weeks in a row. And on a 6-week winning streak, we have a total of 5 channels. But out of those 5 channels, only Funky Bunch MMA, Locked Door MMA and MMA Tuck are winning 7 weeks in a row. But there's only one channel out of those 3 that is winning 8 weeks in a row, which is Locked Door MMA. And if you've been following the longest winning streak for a while now, you will know that Locked Door MMA has a much longer winning streak. Because it doesn't stop at 8 weeks and it goes all the way up to 9, 10, 11 and 12 weeks in a row. Which is, of course, an incredible result.
We've been crushing it. And for whatever reason, we get hate every single week. They act like people out there on TikTok, especially. TikTok's the worst.
Oh, my God.
They act like they don't know who we are. Well, if you don't know, now you know. And if you're tuning into the video right now, guys, make sure to show us some love. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications. Hit the bell. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers, and a lot of you have reached out asking how you can support the show. Well, we're working on some other things, but right now, the best way to support us is to get subscribed. We want to build as big of a community as we can to share our love of the UFC with you guys. So make sure to go ahead and do that. JP, we have a fun one out in Sacramento, California. Some good up and coming fighters, some fighters, one fighter in particular that fought 7 days ago. And I can't wait to dive into this one. But before we do, we have a quick word from today's sponsor. We are so excited to announce that we have partnered with Sleeper. Fight Night is already electric, but Sleeper makes it even better. If you think you know UFC, you can use that knowledge on Sleeper picks by choosing more or less on projected stats for your favorite fighters and athletes. Maybe you're looking at a high volume striker to rack up fantasy points, or a grappler who could control the fight and pile up scoring through takedowns and control time. You build your entry, follow everything live, and sweat the card with your friends right inside the app. Sleeper also gives you fast scores, news, alerts, live stats, and real time chat, so it's a one stop shop for fight night. Download Sleeper today and use code LOCKED when you sign up to get a 100% deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKED on Sleeper. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Download the Sleeper app today. All right, JP, out in California, starting with a women's bout, with one girl being pretty good, the Nightmare Chanel Dyer taking on Elise Reed.
Yeah, strikers delight. I'd say there's a decent amount of good strikers on this card. Okay, people don't like the grapple fucking. Okay, you're probably gonna enjoy this card. Elise Reed keeps her hands pretty low. All right, striking defense, striking offense, they stay below the shoulders pretty much at all times. Her striking is okay, not atrocious. Her movement pretty decent. We've seen much worse. But Chanel Dyer, Muay Thai girl, kickboxing girl, much better, hands much higher. She's gonna have the power, the speed. This is a bad matchup for hands low style, and I just think it does not bode well for Elise. And Elise doesn't really have any good wins, right? She's beaten these extremely low level girls, and she's losing to a lot of these good strikers. Okay, she's losing to Luma, right? I know there's a couple other good strikers on her resume that she's lost to, but yeah, I think this is Chanel's world. We're taking Chanel Dyer. Inside the distance, possibly. I know, Brevin, we talk about women's fights all the time, under 2.5. This one you might, or over 2.5, excuse me. This one you might want to look at the under 2.5. Jesus Christ, starting early with misspeaking. But yeah, give us a Dyer.
Yeah, 1,000%. Elise Reed, like you said, does get hit quite a bit. And Dyer is a girl, JP, that can put people out. She can finish girls, which is intriguing. And we need more of that, especially at 115. I'm excited for this one just to show the level of Dyer, to really push her up inside of the women's strawweight division here. All right, moving up to two guys that fought once before, 6 years ago. Jackson McVey is taking on Wes Schultz.
Yeah. Okay, McVey got subbed. I think it was like 40 something seconds. Or we're taking Jackson McVey. Wes Schultz is a loser of all losers. Brevin, who was that guy that did that roll? He would roll towards you. I forget what that's called, but he would roll towards you and then reach for a leg. Was it Ryan Hall? Is that who I'm thinking of?
Most likely.
Yeah, and he would try and sub you, and he was terrible on the feet. He got it a couple times.
Yeah.
At least that's like kind of funny and entertaining to watch him roll around like a roly-poly.
No, you're right. It was Ryan Hall. He'd always dip that shoulder and just start rolling around left and right. It was like playing a little video game as a kid.
Yeah, like at least it's funny to look at. It's kind of cool when he did get the heel hooks off of it. Wes is a loser. Wes is stupid submissive. Okay, dude's laying on his back. If he was a dog,
Submissive.
he would roll over and show his belly 24/7. His takedowns are atrocious. The moment you stuff it, he sits on his ass and rolls to his back. Dude's striking is abysmal. Is Jackson good? Not necessarily. He's going to be bigger. I'd say his striking's better. Wes is a bum. Certified. Brevin talks about people coming to find him at Trader Joe's. Wes can come find me, and I'll bounce a watermelon off his head while he's laying on his ass. Give us Jackson McVey.
Man, I think you've officially started a feud with Wes Schultz. It's kind of
Can't
like me and the
stand this
Taffa
guy.
brothers.
Cannot stand
There we
watching him
go.
fight.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, he's not very good. Where he is good is a grappling. So if McVey can stay safe, if Wes Schultz was to take the back or maybe find a takedown and get on top, on the feet, there are just levels to the striking, and McVey is just so much better at this point in their career. And yes, they fought before, but it was 6 years ago. It was an amateur bout. A lot of things changed. Like there's a lot of growth and maturity and training that happens in that 6 years time frame that has allowed both of them to somehow get into the UFC. It's not a high level fight by any means, but I do expect Jackson McVey to show a much better version of himself than he did the first time around. All right. That's going to take us up to a fun match between Gage G Money Young against Stan Dorsainvil. Is that how you pronounce that? Dorsainvil?
Yeah, that one sounded better. The first one, there's a little too much pronunciation on the ain.
Well, sorry, my screen is really small. These letters were all mashed together. I really couldn't find out what that was. AI or AL? I had no idea.
It sounded like Dorsainal.
Honestly.
Good one. This one has potential to be a barn burner. Okay. We've seen a couple of these style matchups lately, right? We talk about short notice, which Cody Steele did pull out. He was supposed to fight Gage. Short notice, pretty big jump up in competition for the guy who replaced him on short notice. And they're just young, and the experience isn't crazy high, right? He's only 5-0, but he does have some potential. He's a black belt. He's a pressure grappler. Super long reach. I think he's only like 5'10", and his reach is 75 inches. Very long reach. His striking's pretty decent. It's not great. Sometimes it's a little loopy, but pretty decent. So this kid, he's got some potential, right? We talk about, I think it was like Theodore or something who fought Donchenko. Like these kids could be good. Just who they get in their debut on short notice is tough. Gage is good grappler, good scrambler. He's got decent takedown defense. Good combinations, volume. His striking is great. The way he ends his combinations, his boxing is pretty good. And he's experienced, right? He's fighting people who are experienced. He's fighting Quillen Salkild, taking him long in Contender Series. Quillen shot 22 takedowns in that fight. He got 9 of them, but you guys see where I'm going with this? Like, Quillen's very high-level grappler, now that everybody wants to believe it because they saw it. But Gage, he's not a slouch anywhere. Short notice, tough jump in competition. We're taking a G Money.
G Money for sure. And you're right about that experience. And guys, before I keep talking, let me first say I'm sorry about the voice. I'm a little sick, coming down with something, little raspy. Hopefully, I'm okay. And everyone's giving me some crap. You come back from Cancun, and all of a sudden you can't work, and you're sick, and yada yada yada. I'm trying my best, all right? Must have picked something up out at the airport. But Gage Young, you said it. He's fought some tough guys. I mean, even in his last one, JP, the Thiago Moises split decision. Thiago Moises is a UFC vet, right? Mahashate, very good striker in his own right. And then had a war against Evan Elder. And then, like you said, the Quillen Salkild loss. Look how good that has aged. Like this kid does have a little something, something. At first, it was like, all right, decent wrestler from Missouri. Who cares? But now it's like he can strike, he's tough, he's durable, and he's a good wrestler. So I like G Money in this matchup. And you're right. It's hard to tell with some of these guys making their UFC debuts that do have potential, but they've really fought nobodies. And now they're going up against a guy that's probably more well rounded than anyone they've ever seen before. That's tough for your UFC debut. All right. Give me 1 second. I clicked off the wrong page. We're gonna move to a fun one here. And I know JP can't wait to talk about this one. Ryan Kuse is taking on Marcio Barbosa.
I looked up his nickname because I was thinking Barbosa could be nicknamed the Cobra. With how he sits there and then boom, he explodes fast as shit and hits you so goddamn hard. His nickname depends on how it's said. Popular bird song? I don't know. Okay, yikes, that research went nowhere. But yeah, Barbosa, one of these Brazilian guys who got the touch of death, right? Especially at this size, 145. Kuse, if I'm not mistaken, has fought, I believe his last fight was at bantamweight. Yeah, it was. So he's moving up. He's pretty mid. He's not atrocious, but he's pretty mid at everything. His grappling is okay. His striking, it's better than it's better than Wes Schultz. That's for goddamn sure. But it's nothing compared to Marcio. Everybody knows what's going to happen in this one. We're taking Barbosa. He's probably getting a first round KO. Dude's got 15 wins by KO. All 15 are in the first round. I mean, just go ask Dennis Bazooka how he feels. That dude's probably still snoozing. Extremely fast, extremely sharp, great precision. Hits hard as fuck. I don't see anything Kuse is going to be able to do, even the grappling, that will get him a win in this one. We're taking Barbosa.
Why don't you tell the people the line that we discussed earlier?
Yeah, so Barbosa's big favorite. All right, what is he? Minus 950 right now? And we all said, okay, first round KO. Everybody knows it's going to happen. Go out, get yourself a first round KO line. Minus 950 favorite. First round KO is minus 800. I always say find your spots.
With the first round too?
Or just by KO. Okay, just by KO. My fault. Yeah,
Okay.
you're right. KO in itself for Barbosa is minus 800. The first round will probably be like minus 225. So still, we always talk about find your spots. I think they priced this out at this point for Barbosa.
Yeah, no, that's fun. Anytime we have these guys within the organization that get all of their opponents out in the first round, creates a lot of excitement for the fight. And I say that, JP, because there's been a lot of times that we've been hanging out with people that, kind of watch UFC here and there, don't really watch every single weekend. And they're all talking, messing around, and we're like, yo, buckle down. This fight's not going to last long. And that's exactly what you have in this one. Because, like you said, Barbosa is a first round KO specialist. He has 15 wins via KO, almost all of them coming in the first round. This dude, like you said, absolute sniper, the power, the precision, sits, waits, patient, and then bam, your night is over. That's what Barbosa does. He brings a lot of excitement into that featherweight division. All right, moving up to a really good matchup here on the prelims. We've got Nasrat Harqparast taking on Chris Taco Padilla.
Yeah, Brevin's not lying. This is a good fight. Both of these guys pretty much a vet at this point. Very good experience. Neither of these guys are a slouch on the feet. Okay, both throw pretty decent volume. Good combinations. The grappling's not going to be an easy night out with either of these guys. I'd say Chris is probably, when it comes push comes to shove, the better grappler. I know everybody's going to talk about Nasrat, and we were just talking about Salkild head kicking him. He got put out bad in that one. But he's got some good wins, right? He beat Ribovic, which I know at the time that was an arguable fight. We probably thought Ribovic won that one, but either way, he's still in the fight, right? And like I said, good volume. He will stand there and throw with you, right? He throws good straight shots. We talk about it every week. How these guys just throw straight. Abdul Malik, we just watched last weekend. If he threw straight, he probably would have got him out of there. Can't. Keeps throwing everything fucking wild and looping. That's all what happened. Nasrat does get hit a lot. A little too much in our liking. And the big thing about Chris Padilla, we talk about it all the time. Dumb fighters. Horrible IQ decisions. Chris is a smart fighter. Chris actually watches a lot of film. He uses elbows on guys who will come in and throw hard and kind of dip their head. He'll shell up and then slice an elbow through. Just go ask Rongju about that one, right? And he's a good round winner. That comes with the IQ. He's a good round winner at the end. I got to do something to steal this round. I got to stick out in this round. Very close fight. The lines are extremely close right now. We're taking a stab. We're taking a shot. Oh my God, all I do is pick favorites. Not true. Not true. We had a couple dogs last week. This week, this is our first dog. We are taking Chris Padilla to beat Harqparast.
Yeah. A few things about Chris Padilla. Now, JP and I were talking before we started filming. He does keep a high guard, so his hands are always up, which can be a blessing and a curse. I think a little bit of a shell is good. It really makes it hard for your opponents to land damage on you. However, with the 4-ounce gloves, with the MMA gloves, a lot of times things can sneak through the guard. They can punish your forearms, they can punish your nose, still land their jab, maybe hook it around, catch the temple. And Nasrat does throw straight. So when he's throwing, he's pretty precise and he throws good volume. And that's the one thing that I worry about Taco here is at times he's a little hesitant. Very comfortable just being on the outside, maybe back up against the fence. I would really like to see him put a pressure on Nasrat, back him up against the fence, and then use the calf kicks, then use the elbows when he's got Nasrat backed up to slice him open and really break him down, right? Instead of being the one that's just waiting for the counters. I don't like counter strikers when there's no aggressive offense to mix in with it. So I do like Chris Padilla in the matchup. I will say, like JP said, it is a close fight. So from a betting perspective, yeah, pretty good value on Padilla because he will be the underdog. And he's shown that he's a good striker. He's a real good striker, very high IQ. So Padilla is going to be the pick. All right. Moving up to the big boys, Shamil Gaziev is going to take on Kennedy and Nzechukwu.
I don't know why. This one is extremely tough to call in my eyes. Not a big fan of either of these guys. Gaziev put on the stool at one point. He gasses out. Call him king of the blabs. Right? His hands are very low. Just like who was it earlier? Elise Reed. Right? Both of their striking styles are pretty similar. He just kind of stands straight up also. Not in a great athletic stance. Hands are very low. His volume, sometimes it's 2 at a time, but most of the time it's just one shot. And then he's kind of leaning back and putting his hands up to block a shot. And when I say put his hands up, I just mean kind of up and out. And he's just trying to get in the way of shit. He can grapple, but he doesn't go to it a lot. Like he goes to the grappling when he starts to get his ass beat on the feet or when he can't get his striking off. But it's not very often. It's not crazy often like everybody thinks. Kennedy is going to be taller, but Gaziev's going to come in at all 265. Kennedy's been at light heavyweight. Kennedy's been clipped many a times. Okay, he's been put out. He's famous for putting Olberg out, and that was like third round, almost at the end of that. He does have power. He's going to be quicker. I do like his stance and his striking a lot more. The grappling, I know everybody's going to talk about the Buchecha fight. Buchecha is a world-class grappler. Couldn't get him out of there. He's scrambling with him. But on the feet, we can't get him out of there. Buchecha can't strike. So Kennedy's IQ is a big question mark as well. It's not great. Tough one. I don't like the hands low thing. You don't like the IQ thing. In my eyes, this is a pick the lesser of two evils. Kind of like the Neil Magny Brahimaj fight. Right? I think the lesser of two evils is Kennedy. I like his striking more. I like the speed. I think his grappling defense will be good enough. Do not like Gaziev. We're taking Nzechukwu. Dog money.
Yeah, there's just some red flags. Dog money as well. Just some red flags. And also on that point, JP, it's funny that everyone calls me the chalk king, says all I do is pick favorites, but yet the same page I mentioned earlier, UFC Prediction Tracker, has us ranked as one of the top underdog predictors for the entire year. Now, could anyone tell me how that could be possible if all we do is pick favorites?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no answers out there? Interesting, because it's not the truth. And we got a couple dogs on this card that we feel very high on. Kennedy's one of them. We've been riding with him for a while through the highs, through the lows. He's so athletically gifted, JP. He's massive. He's quick. He can throw with whoever. He has a nice guillotine. If Gaziev gets a little lazy with a takedown attempt, watch out for Kennedy snatching up that neck. And Gaziev is not the type to really fight through adversity. And we saw that when he quit on the stool. So I think there's a lot of ways that Kennedy can get this one done. I like him in the spot. All right, moving up to another fun one. Jamal Emmers is taking on Le'Veon Douglas.
Another barn burner. And another one that I would hammer. You could parlay the Dyer and Reed fight under 2.5, this fight under 2.5, and there's another fight you could throw in that parlay. Do all three of them under 2.5. Jamal Emmers is not a slouch. Yeah, I know everybody's like Larry and Douglas, this dude's nasty, which he is. Emmers isn't a slouch. Very long, got extremely long arms. He's a decent grappler. He throws straight. He does. That's why he's got his KOs. Okay, those long arms, he throws straight. He can hit hard. He's got big hands. But Larian, dude's quick. Dude covers a lot of ground. He occupies you with that jab and comes over the top with that right hand. I think that's going to cause trouble for Jamal. If Nate Landwehr can get in your face and make it dirty and clip you, which I know he clipped Nate as well, but in a dogfight, sometimes Jamal will throw straight and then he'll keep throwing and both of his hands are out at one point, and I think Larian can clip him over the top. I like Larian being with Cub Swanson's team. Okay, I think he's training him very well over there. That team is on a tear right now, and I don't think the grappling. Normally, Jamal's getting his grappling going and getting nasty subs off of people being lazy or, like Brevin said, bad technique. They're tired. They're shooting terribly. I'm not worried about Larian in that spot. We're taking Larian Douglas.
1,000% another fun one. All right, JP. That takes us up to the main card.
The big one. I'd say the one that most people are probably going to tune in to watch. Okay, at the beginning of the main card, I think it's very smart for the UFC to put this fight here. The former football player. Who did he play for again, Brevin?
It's on the New York Jets,
The Jets
practice squad.
Yeah, the Jets practice squad. All you got to do is go to Tapology and click on this dude's picture. Because holy shit, this boy is yoked. Talk about juicing. Just saying. Probably not because he was in the NFL and shit. But Anthony Wint coming off a 7-day where he just slumped. Absolutely slumped the guy he was fighting on Contender Series. Going up against Terrence Chatman.
Man, you bring up a good point. And I know we didn't really talk about that before we started filming, but you and I have been pretty good about spotting guys that have been on a little bit of juice. Now, Anthony Wint, yes, he played in the NFL, but if you look at those traps, if you look at those shoulders,
Jesus.
this dude is, he might be on the juice. Holy smokes. And guys, he's a heavyweight. He's 5'11". Both JP and I are taller than this heavyweight. That just goes to show this guy's stature. He's a heavyweight, but he's not 265. He's not athletic. This dude is an athletic freak at 5'11", which you're just going to have to tune into the fight. I don't think pictures are even going to do it justice. This dude's a freak of nature, played linebacker, very quick, very fast on the feet with his hands. He's throwing to kill. He is going to come in well below the heavyweight limit of 265. He might come in at like 240. Okay, that's kind of where this guy lives. Good wrestler, good hands, good power. He's taken on Terrence Chatman, who will be all of 265 come fight night. He stands at 6'2". He's got a nice jab. He throws some nice calf kicks. And when he hits guys, he's got some power to his hands. He trains down in Houston with Joshua Van, Kevin Holland. And at times, this kid looks pretty good. Now, you want to talk about betting spots? Guys, I was telling JP before we started filming, please, please, please stay away from this fight. It looks tempting. It looks like a parlay piece. Anthony Wint, this is the lock of the night. No, okay? These odds should be a lot closer than they are. Anthony Wint fought on the Contender Series just 7 days ago, okay? Well, even less currently as we film. But on fight night, it'll be 7 days. This dude's ready to go, but that's hard to do, and that's hard to replicate, JP. 2 fights in a week. I mean, you don't see that very often, and when it does happen, sometimes the performances aren't all that dominant, and I do worry that it's going to be a little bit too much too soon, as opposed to easing him in with a full camp for his UFC debut. And I know it's MMA math, guys, but they did fight the same guy. Anthony went to split decision with him. Terrence Chatman knocked him out in the first round. I'm just throwing that out there. But in this matchup, Terrence Chatman, he's good, but he doesn't throw enough volume. Anthony Wint, I believe, presses forward, clinches up against the fence, separates, lands some big bombs, clinches back up again, maybe finds a takedown. I think the volume will be there. His relentless will be there. He seems very, very determined to be a star in the heavyweight division in the UFC, and I think he can get it done. The pick is going to be Anthony Wint. Just don't bet this fight.
Yeah, if you're a dog hunter or a dog chaser and you like to throw down on big underdogs, I think this is the best one you're going to have in a long time. Okay, I know Jeremiah Wells just hit it plus 750.
He had no business winning that.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not even going to get into that. Whatever. There's probably going to be people in the comments everywhere. I knew. I'm sure you did. Yeah, this one's it. This one is it, like Brevin said. Chatman, his volume is kind of lackluster. Not kind of, it is. He doesn't throw crazy volume. Right? He will sit there, just kind of stalk you, get reads. He'll feint, but then he won't throw anything. Still get reads. Calf kick, we're still the reads. But when he throws, he is very accurate. And he does hit hard as shit. Throws straight. Good striker. Just doesn't throw enough in our eyes. So if Anthony comes out there and he just tries to take his head off and blows his wad in one, watch out. Watch out. Chatman might put him out, but yeah, Anthony, a good wrestler, might be juiced. I'm not here to throw accusations at anybody, but holy shit.
We're just making observations.
Holy shit. I might throw up the Tapology photo because it's Jesus Christ.
Maybe we're just a little jealous of his body.
I mean, can you imagine get a halfback dive, meeting that guy in the A-gap?
All I can say is I've met a few that look like that guy right there.
Jesus Christ.
I will say what was that, Sunny Slope football team? They had a
green one?
fullback.
Yeah.
Yeah, the green team. They had a fullback that reminded me a lot of Anthony Wint, and I believe he gave me a couple concussions.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, Boulder Creek, that that defensive end that gave me my concussion, dropped me on my head. I'm pretty sure it was Wint. We might have to look up where he went to high school, because Jesus Christ.
He didn't play no tight end.
No, it's
short little guy.
All right, moving on. Another ladies fight on the main card, and this one's a good one. We like this one. It is Carly Judice going up against Gisela Chaves.
Yeah. Interesting fight. Gisela Chaves is an undefeated fighter. She's coming off of a Contender Series split decision, I believe, that then awarded her. No, excuse me. Sorry. Yes, actually, I'm correct. She had a split decision on the Contender Series and then a split decision again against Eunice Dubin in her UFC debut. Listen, JP, this is not actually what I'm going to be telling the people, but she seems like a split decision merchant. If you want to sprinkle, because JP, I'm talking to JP. I'm not talking to you guys at home. I'm just talking to JP. This guy has a very bad habit of betting the split decision. I don't know why. I tell him every single week, it's not going to happen. It's going unanimous. And then he drinks a little bit. And he's like, I got a good idea. $80 split decision pays out like $2,000. I'm like, what are you doing, brother?
Man.
Oh, I should have just followed my rules. I don't want to hear it. I'm talking to JP. Maybe sprinkle the split decision. The rest of you, Carly Judice is an absolute dog. She's got great striking for a woman's fighter in this division. We've made comparisons to some of the greatest strikers of all time. Says she looks a little bit like Conor McGregor. That's high praise, okay? For a UFC women's flyweight fighter, she's very slick, got the good left, throws straight punches. She's long for this division as well, and I think that she's going to have Chavez's number on the feet. I don't see Chaves being able to grapple Carly whatsoever. I think she's the better grappler, at least defensively. But on the feet, yeah, there is levels to it. You guys will see a beautiful display of striking from Carly Judice on Saturday. She's going to be the pick. We like her a lot in this spot.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy's acting like he knows me. I don't think I've put down a bet on split decision one time.
Let's pull the slips. And I'm pretty sure one of them was close to $80. You were supposed to do the decision and the KO. And then he says, well, and it ended in KO. He said, well, I forgot to do the KO and I put that on split decision instead. What? What are we doing? And then he's all mad because he lost money and I'm over here winning money. He just never listens to me.
I cannot confirm or deny. All speculation, hearsay at this point. To be fair, I have hit a couple of these split decisions, okay? Now, the ones I hit are for $80, right? The ones I hit, I throw like $6 on it, pays out like 30 something, but I'm like, the $80 one was what it was. Okay, it was, your boy had a couple Mosas, couple screwdrivers before the fight goes
morning
off.
Card?
Yeah.
Was that a morning card? Oh my God, we're doing that in the morning.
Yes, it was. Hey, money was also on unanimous decision, and it was right there. And then he put him out in the fifth. Son of a bitch.
The fifth round. I know.
But yeah. Anyways, back to the fight. Chaves, you're barely winning over Doobie Duben. Duben the heavies. Come on. Duben's trash. Carly's movement is phenomenal. Okay, she never stops moving. Striking's great. Volume's great. Combinations are great. And when I say she never stops moving, it's not wasted movement. Okay, it's not these us that literally touch nothing. It's just fucking punching at air. Can't stand when these girls do that shit. Carly won't do that. She's looking to actually hit you. She's looking to put you out. We're taking Carly Judice. All right, moving up. Another good one. Another close one. This one might be a parlay buster right here. Markel Mederos taking on Mason Jones.
Ye of little faith. Ye of little faith. Parlay buster. What are we talking about? One of these guys I like a lot. Let's start by breaking down these fighters. Marco Mederos, good striker, very technical striker. He put on a really good performance against Chris Padilla, which led to a majority draw that we saw. And that was the weird one, JP, where they announced Padilla as the winner. They went back to the locker rooms and they said Bruce Buffer made a mistake. I don't know how. I don't know what went on behind the scenes, but now it's a draw. Anyways, Mederos is good. He is also undefeated in the UFC. He won on its Contender Series fight as well. He's shown flashes, JP. He's shown flashes because leading into the Chris Padilla fight, we were like, this guy's not really good. Split decision against Austin Hubbard. I went back, rewatched that fight. You could kind of see there was some kinks in the armor that, he had to work out. In the Padilla fight, he looked very calm. Like he had it figured out. He was landing elbows. He was firing back. He threw volume, which Padilla did not. It was a good fight. Now he's taken another step forward against Mason Jones, who has shown that he is one of the most durable guys in the UFC. This dude is the definition of a dog. Okay. He's got that dog in him. He'll be hurt. He'll be wobbled. He'll be knocked down, but he's not going to give up on himself. He's going to fight for your money. He's going to get his ass back up. And when he does, he's a problem. Balaji Oki, right? Oki had his way with him in the early first round. By the end of the first round, Mason Jones had knocked Oki down, was on top, hammering down elbows. Axel Sola. Sola had some moments. Mason Jones split this dude open so bad that he's got permanent scar tissue damage on his face. This dude is a problem. Good hands. He's quick on his feet. He likes to counter a lot, which can get him hit. He's like, I'm going to eat one to land one type of guy. And that's what gets him into a little bit of trouble, but he's very, very skilled and he's a good grappler. So if he needs to mix this one up, he can. He's going to be the bigger one in this fight as well, which I think gives me a little bit more confidence. I'm taking Mason Jones, the Dragon, to show us why he deserves a spot inside the UFC. Let's not forget, he was one of these guys that had to leave the UFC, work his way back into the UFC. And since he came back, he has looked like nothing but a freaking problem.
Absolutely. And when Brevin calls him a dog, I mean, he ain't fucking lying, man. You got to put this dude unconscious to beat this man. Markel, one of those guys who's going to get on his bike, right? He's got good footwork and he will use it. He'll keep circling. He'll keep moving. If you don't know how to cut him off, you're going to have a long night. And we have seen that before where people who don't know how to cut people off on the cage, they're just following them like a lost puppy. Okay. And Brevin says he throws volume. He will throw volume. He'll throw a little jab out there, he'll throw a little snappy shots if you get close to him, and then he'll circle, and then he'll move, right? So Mason's got his work cut out for him on the feet. But what Mason does well is he makes you fight his fight, okay? He's going to make you fight a dirty fight. And that's why he's a dog, because he wins those fights. When he's tired, he's one of those guys who can fight when he's tired. You're gassing out. Markel does slow down because he's constantly moving backwards, constantly moving around the cage. And when you don't sit down on a shot and really crack somebody and slow them down, that is very tiring to do in all 15, 25, whatever it may be. So, take it, Mason. All right, moving up. Featured fight of the night. And it's an interesting one. Roman Dolidze taking on Rainier de Quitter.
Yeah. A light heavyweight debut for RDR, which, let's be honest, the dude was draining himself to make middleweight. Very happy for him to be fighting at light heavyweight. He's fought at light heavyweight before in another promotion. But this is a fun matchup between these two because you know why, JP? They both suck at striking. They do. The lesser of the two evils. I think that's been the theme of the night. RDR is a better striker than Roman Dolidze. Dolidze really has no answer for people on the feet. And he's one of these guys that he's trying to get into tricky submission situations, which means doing the Ryan Halls, rolling around, trying to find an ankle and trying to get a calf slicer and things of that nature. And it just opens you up to a lot of things. And in this fight, JP, I believe that RDR is the better grappler. I think he has a grappling advantage. I expect him to get on top of Roman Dolidze and work his jiu-jitsu. And on the feet, this is actually where I feel confident in RDR. In some of the other fights, the Robert Whittaker fight, it gave me pause. Whittaker's a much better striker. RDR is not a good striker. But against Dolidze, let's run it. Taking RDR, he's going to be the pick. I expect him to look pretty darn good at light heavyweight. And guys, guess what? Not a lot of light heavyweights are this high level of grapplers. So he could make another run. And that's what we're seeing with Walter Walker. With the heel hooks at heavyweight, they just can't stop it. So Walter Walker is untouchable and he's moving up the ranks. I think RDR could do the same exact thing at light heavyweight, which is a fun thing for him. And I'm happy to see him kind of settle into a new weight class where he doesn't have to drain himself as badly as he was. He was a huge middleweight. Now, there's some big light heavyweights, but RDR was never a small guy by any means in the first place.
I mean, yeah, never. And we talk about suck at striking. When you guys go back and watch the Vettori and Dolidze fight, holy shit. The level of striking in that fight is just abysmal to watch. It is literally the worst. It's like watching Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson trade reps at quarterback.
No, that's not a good comparison. Shedeur Sanders is way better than Deshaun Watson, brother.
But you get what I'm saying, right? It's like watching Browns football. Butt cheeks. Atrocious. Anyways, RDR's got a better weapon than Dolidze does on the feet. Dolidze's got maybe a wild overhand. He is strong, right? Strong as shit. He's a big guy. RDR's taller. And that step through knee, the clinch knee, wherever he's at, that knee is a problem. Go ask Bo Nickel. Okay? That knee fucking broke Bo's ego and then made him a humble man. Sure.
Yeah, it's worked out.
Yeah, I guess.
Thank you, RDR.
And then like Brevin said, on the ground, he's a better grappler. He's a phenomenal grappler. I mean, just a submission ace. And Dolidze, that's where he's comfortable. Might get him in trouble here because RDR throws stuff off the bottom very nice. He's got good transitions. Taking Rainier de Quitter. I know I call him de Quitter, quit on the stool. I this and that, my blood cells and this and that. Finally moved up. If he still complains about it, I'm out. But now he doesn't got to kill himself to make weight. Is what it is. Hopefully he looks better. Speaking about making weight and weight bullies, Joel Alvarez, you're a pussy. Certified. Dude was a true weight
Should have
bully.
stayed down. He should have stayed down.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ. If it ain't fixed, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it. Jesus Christ. Your boy's yapping. All right, moving up. Come in. Big boys again. This one's another close one. Could be interesting. Sergey Spivac is taking on Vitor Petrino.
A lot of close ones on this card, which makes it fun. Spivac, last time out, looked phenomenal, JP. You want to talk about a crisp jab? His boxing is looking pretty darn good. Ante Dolidze, I was high on. I think Dolidze has some hands, dude. He's fast, he's quick. And Spivac put his hands on Dolidze, bloodied up his nose. The jab was there. It was money all night long. And the dude can grapple. The other thing with Spivac is he's been in there, JP, with the best heavyweights in the world. Jailton Almeida, Cyril Gane, Tom Aspinall. I'm not saying Almeida's the best heavyweight, but it shows you a different style. The wrestling, the heavy wrestling. He's seen it all. Cyril Gane, the striking. And yes, Cyril got him out of there. Tom got him out of there. But they're the best heavyweights in the world. There's nothing else to argue about there. This guy's really kind of seen it all. And a lot of people think the Waldo Cortez Acosta fight could have gone his way. He fought well in that matchup. Okay. And then he went out against D'Elia, put on a nice performance. Vitor Petrino, coming off of an okay performance against Steven Asplin. Asplin's shown that he's got some good hands, but there was moments in that fight, JP, where Petrino was wobbled. He was hurt. And you don't love to see that because he's had chin problems at light heavyweight. Now he's at heavyweight where these guys hit even harder. But he's quick in his own right. He's fast. He hits hard himself. And ultimately, that's what was damaging Steven Asplin and won him the fight. Steven Asplin's nose was bloodied up because of Petrino's jab. So we got two guys with really quick, fast, sharp jabs. It's going to be interesting to see who gets the better of the exchanges on the feet, on the ground. Both guys are capable grapplers. It really is just going to be dependent on who ends up on top. On top, Petrino's better. On top, Spivac's better. And so position over everything in this matchup, especially on the canvas. And then on the feet, I do think Petrino is going to be a little bit faster. There's not a problem with his reach at all. I do think his jab can get through on Spivac. And I like the upside that Vitor Petrino has always shown. He's at times been a little bit hit or miss, right? The loss to Anthony Smith and the loss to Dustin Jacoby in the third round. Those were bad looks. But since then, he's really kind of looked good at heavyweight. And I think this is the weight class for him. I would just like to see him continue to really put it on guys and not get as wobbled and as hurt throughout, right? And also the gas tank may be an issue. He gets a little tired. He's muscly. He always kind of does the hammer walk back to the center, and I'm going to do this. And against Asplin, he was willing. But what happens if Spivac's just like, I'm going to brawl you. I have the cardio to keep going. Does Petrino have the cardio to keep going? That'll be the question that we need answered. But the pick is going to be Vitor Petrino. Again, this is a really close fight. I just think Petrino's the better overall fighter.
Yeah, and people might talk about the grappling, like you're saying, because Spivac is a great grappler, but he went 1 for 4 against Dolidze. Right, he's going 2 for 6 against Waldo. Waldo's not as good of a grappler as Petrino is. Right, Petrino can't grapple on his own right. Like Brevin said, he is muscly, so the gas tank is a worry. It always has been. He's never had a good gas tank. But Spivac's not a guy who puts a crazy pace on people. And both of them got a decent jab, but Petrino is going to be faster in 1 and 2. I think Spivac's path to victory is a finish in the third round. And I just see Petrino going up in 1 and 2, but it's a close fight. We'll have to see. if there's one thing I want to see from Petrino, it is the gas tank, man. We gotta. You don't even gotta put a pace on people and be a cardio machine. Just don't gas out as bad in that third round. And my biggest gripe, you guys remember me talking about it with him and Asplund. Even though we did pick Petrino to beat Asplund, Asplund would just let Petrino circle out, like Brevin said, walk back to the center of the cage. And Asplund would just turn around and walk himself back, right? He wouldn't press him, cut him off, nothing. So we'll have to see what the gas tank does for him, but we're taking Petrino. And that leads us to main event, which is a good one and another close fight. Fluffy Hernandez is back. Anthony Hernandez is taking on Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez.
Yeah, this is a fun matchup. Anthony Hernandez, the California kid, fighting in California. He will be the hometown favorite in this matchup, and he's a favorite from the odds makers as well. Gregory Rodriguez, if you guys haven't seen this fight, you got to tune in. He is a powerful, powerful man. He can put people's lights out whenever he so chooses, whenever he lands. And the other thing that a lot of people don't know, because he doesn't really show it, is he's a world-class grappler. All right, this guy got his start in the martial arts world with grappling, and now he's in the UFC just knocking people's heads off. So the styles change, and everyone thinks, wow, he's just a KO artist. This dude can grapple. All right. Anthony Hernandez, he's going to put a pace on people. He is one that his whole style is I'm going to break you and I'm going to either finish you late or I'm going to win on the judges' scorecards because I've put so much volume out there. I've landed so many takedowns. That's what they saw. People are worried about Gregory Rodriguez's gas tank. And frankly, yes, that is a talking point. But to me, especially as of late, he's looked really good. I think he's at the best that he's ever been as far as cardio goes. He understands what's at stake because a win over Fluffy here shoots him way up the rankings and that much closer to a title shot. And that's obviously what he's going for. And I think at 34 years old, he's hitting his prime, GP. I really do. I think Gregory Rodriguez has the perfect blend of power, precision, great grappling that he can't be wrestled, or if he is taken down, which he's only been taken down twice in his career, and that's when he was really, really tired, he can get back up to his feet and or survive and stay safe. Now, Anthony Hernandez, we've seen in the Sean Strickland fight and the Michelle Pereira fight and many other fights, can get hurt. He is someone that's a little soft to the body. Body shots affect this guy. For a guy with such great cardio, I find that very interesting. I really do. You can go, but someone lands a liver kick, someone lands a punch to the midsection, and all of a sudden you're crumpling over and you got nothing left. It's kind of weird to me, but in this matchup, it's going to be interesting on what approach Hernandez takes because in the Sean Strickland fight, he really didn't shoot that many takedowns. He was like, I'm going to stand there and box with you. That didn't turn out so hot. That was not a good game plan. So I question, like, what is he going to do against Gregory if he also finds out, hey, I can't really take this guy down. I don't want to gas myself out just trying and not succeeding and maybe catch an uppercut on the way in and hit the bed or hit the bed a little early tonight and go to sleep. Gregory Rodriguez, I think, is the better fighter overall. He's better on the feet. He's going to show his striking, and then he's going to show his takedown defense. And then if he is to get taken down, world-class grappler. He's the better grappler, in my opinion. He just never has to show it, okay? So if he doesn't gas out and Anthony doesn't find a win in round 4 and 5, Gregory Rodriguez should win this fight. I think he has more ways to win. I like what I've seen so far. Versus Fluffy, I haven't really liked what I've seen as of late. We're taking the underdog, Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez.
Dog money in the main event. Yeah, it just really comes down to the cardio. Because if you're honestly going to sit here and analyze this fight, and watch film, and do all this, you cannot sit here and tell me in the first 3 rounds, Fluffy has to either nut hug like crazy and constantly, and I mean constantly, if he's not getting them, 24/7. Like in the first 3 rounds, probably shoot 10 takedowns, 12 takedowns by himself. RoboCop is a problem in the first 3 rounds. And to the body, Brevin said it, to the body, he is weak, man. And it is kind of sketch. Which Fluffy can strike, but if his game plan is to go in there and strike with RoboCop like he did Strickland, he's getting put out cold. Now, yes, 4 and 5, maybe at the end of 3, 4 and 5, that is Fluffy's territory to win. RoboCop going to gas out. Fluffy does what he does, put it on you. If he gasses out, he gasses out. Everybody talks about him in the Cannoneer fight. Oh, he gassed out bad there. I do not see Fluffy being as durable as Jared was. Jared was all about finished, and we've seen Jared has made a career of being tough as shit and hard to put away. I do not see Fluffy getting hurt and being able to stay in it like he did. And RoboCop just absolutely blew his wad. In his last one against Bruno Ferreira, getting that knockout back, he talked about it in the post-fight interview. I'm very confident. I feel like if I walk forward, trust myself, trust my striking, I can put anybody out. I believe him. If you're on the Fluffy side, I don't blame you. You're probably on 4 or 5 finish, right? Over 3.5, and then inside distance, whatever. But we're taking RoboCop, and the first 3 rounds, he's a problem. And we don't think Fluffy recovers after he gets hurt.
Fun matchup nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen. If you made it this far, this doesn't do it for the show. Don't go anywhere. We have your free show parlays coming your way right freaking now. But if you haven't already, make sure to like this video, leave a comment with who you got winning on this card, share if you agree or disagree with any of our picks, and make sure to get subscribed. JP, now we've got Locked Door MMA's Lock of the Night. Who we locking up?
Pretty obvious one, -800 KO. We're not doing Barbosa. I know everybody here thought we were doing Barbosa. We're not doing Wint. It's a damn close fight. We are breaking our own rule. But that's okay. Because once in a while you can. On a card like this, red flag here, red flag there. We talked about a theme of this episode. Lesser of 2 evils. The lock is the lesser of the lock evils. We are locking a woman's fighter, Carly Judice. Cannot lose. Lock of the night. Better striker. Better volume. Better speed. That girl couldn't beat Doobie Duben. Get her out of here. Give us Carly Judice.
1000%. All right, now it's time for Brevin's Basic. Let's start with that lock. Give me Carly Judice to get it done. And then JP said we weren't doing Barbosa for the lock, but I'm putting him in the basic. Give me Marcio Barbosa to get it done. And then to round us out, the lesser of 2 evils, the better striker, the better grappler. Give me Ranier de Ritter RDR to get it done.
Good one. Good one. Throwing an RDR in there. All right. Sit down. Shut up. Juicer time. We're going to freaking hit one. Okay, we go on spells where we hit like 3 juicers in a row and then like 20. That don't hit. It's always one guy, one freaking guy, man. First one, throw in G Money, Gage Young, and he'll fight for your money. Okay, might be sketch, right? Might have to sweat it out. This other kid that he's fighting, he's got potential. He's got some grit to him. Too much, too fast, not enough experience. Throw in G Money. Next one, Barbosa. Okay, not the lock, but he will be a parlay piece. Barbosa by KO. Not much different odds, but do whatever you want. Larry and Douglas is the next one. I think he puts him out. You could throw him by KO. Money line's not terrible. Let's throw in Douglas. First dog, Taco Padilla. In the juicer, throw him in there. That'll be a close fight, but Harqparast just gets hit way too much for my liking. Lock is a lock for a reason. Throw in Carly Judice. Okay, you could throw her in by finish and make this thing absolutely freaking juiced. And then the final one, dog money, main event, RoboCop. Throw in RoboCop. The juicer is freaking juiced. 2 dogs in it. Go big or go home. Out in Sacramento, we are going big.
1000%. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Our free show parlays. If you like the content, make sure to let us know in the comment section. Like the video, help the boys beat the algorithm's ass. And JP, we're on the road to 3,000 subs. It would not be possible without you guys out there. So if you could do me a huge favor, get subscribed to the best UFC prediction channel on planet Earth, Locked Door MMA, right freaking now. It really goes a long way. With that, JP, I'll let you take us home.
We're back at it. Okay, back in the grind. Contender Series is underway. This week was freaking nuts. Best Contender Series week I've seen in a long time. I will try and do stuff here and there for that. It just depends. All right, life has been pretty wild, and then we're finally back to film a video together in the last couple weeks. Brevin's sick. You never know. There's some behind the scenes stuff going on that seems to have figured itself out. We're better in that department now, so everything's a little crazy right now, but you boys stay locked in. All right, last week we were fighting for our lives there to stay positive. All right, stay profitable, but we did it. Neil Magny is making up for what he cost us a couple years ago.
Oh my God.
Jesus
Not
Christ. Yeah, still ain't close. All right, fuck you, Neil.
Well, that was part of it. That was part of the repayment plan.
Training camp's underway, preseason's underway. All right, I heard the Cowboys and Saints had an absolute freaking brawl in their joint practice. I heard the Raiders
today.
Yeah. Apparently it's a big old brawl. I don't know who was in it. If I had to bet, George Pickens.
Probably started.
Yeah.
And probably ran away.
Yeah. I heard the Raiders and Texans joint practice went off today, and I heard we got fucking ragdolled. So that's gorgeous.
I know why.
Why is that?
Have you seen some of the Houston Texans defensive linemen? Will Anderson Jr. is looking like an absolute candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, but yeah, I heard their D-line wreaked havoc on us today. We couldn't run the ball. Max
They might
Crosby
have the best D-line
easily
in the NFL.
Easily.
Yeah.
I heard it was causing us all sorts of trouble today. Crosby was doing his best on our defense to get there, but I heard their receivers were routing us up. So Texans might be a problem, or we still blow ass. All hearsay. All right, who's there to tell? But yeah, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. All right, hit that like button. We appreciate you guys. Help us out with that algorithm. Got nothing to say? Drop a W in the comments for your boys. Road to 3K. Revan, anything else for the people before we let them go?
I got nothing else. Be well. Take care of each other. Love one another. We appreciate you guys as always.
Ladies and gentlemen, another weekend, set of fights. As always, it's a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby. Peace.